Hi everyone, Linda Heldman here for Canadian Beats. It is a thrill to have on the phone with me today Max Kerman from the Arkells. Welcome, Max.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Awesome, awesome. So, a few questions for you. You released your new album, Morning Report, back in August of 2016. How has the response been from that album?
It's been really positive. I think whenever we put out a new record, on a certain level, it's we're trying to challenge our listeners. It's kind of getting that sweet spot between giving them something they're excited about, but also making them work for it just a little bit, because I think the results are more satisfying when you have to spend a little bit more time with an album. And we came out of the gate with a song like Vibe at School, which is a different kind of song, I think, for us.
Mm-hmm.
And to us, that's sort of the fun of making records, is trying to tackle new sonic space and evolve from the last record. And I think when it first came out, people scratched their heads for a minute, and then by the third listen, they're like, okay, I understand it. And now when we play it live, it fits in with the rest of our material perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So, we know not to sort of judge anything in the moment. It's always better to let things have their own life, and then you can reflect back on sort of what works and what doesn't work. And with the record, there are songs that are going to be sort of staples in our set list for years to come. A song like My Heart Is Yours, or Private School, or A Little Rain, or Savannah, and Then Some. Those are all songs that I think stand up with any other kind of classic Arkells songs that we still play today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I have to say my favorite song off that album is Drake's Dad. I love it. It's such a great, catchy tune.
Yeah.
I love that one.
That's another kind of interesting song, I think, that's a little unusual for us.
Mm-hmm.
But now it seems to fit right in with the rest of our material.
It does. And that is one that you actually performed at the 2017 Juno Awards, which was really great to be there to see. That was awesome. And that album actually charted at number 3 on the Canadian charts.
Yeah, we were thrilled. The fact that we can put out a record and people are excited about listening to it, and there's people waiting for it. That's a real perk, because I know a lot of bands put out great records, but they don't necessarily have an audience yet that are waiting for it. So to put out a record that people are waiting for is something we don't take lightly.
Great. Okay, well, you recently released a new single called Knocking at the Door, and that one is doing well. It's hit number 1 on the Canadian alternative and rock charts. Now, this is a song that wasn't on your album Morning Report. So what made you release a single that wasn't on the album?
I think, number one, we're always, I think generally taking lessons from musicians and people that kind of live outside the world of traditional, like, indie rock and roll. Mm-hmm. And the idea of putting out a single that's not on the record is something you see a lot of guys in hip-hop do and a lot of people in pop do. And we say to ourselves, well, why can't we do that? If we have a new song that we're really excited about, could we serve it just to radio and maybe, get a reaction there? And so when we wrote the song in February and recorded in March, and it came out in April, and the label and our management were really thrilled with how it sounded and wanted to get behind it immediately. So I think for us it's really important to keep things fresh, to not just kind of go back to the same old bag of tricks. Because I think we would have put out the third single from the record, which would have been Savannah, and we love that song. But the fact that the sort of new song fell into our laps and came from the gods,
mm-hmm.
and we're grateful for it, and it's going to be on the deluxe version of Morning Report too. So it'll have a home with the rest of the songs for that record.
Great, good to know. Well, there are many fans of yours working at Canadian Beats and have seen you perform live, and we all agree that you definitely put on a great high energy show. So If you had to describe your live performance in 5 words, what would they be?
I'd say community affair for everyone. That's only 4 words.
That's okay.
But it's a community affair for everyone.
Awesome.
I think the set works best if everybody is kicking their heart out, shaking their ass, and dancing up a storm, and truly enjoying everybody else's company. Because I know that's what we sort of try to cultivate, I think. Mm-hmm. And it works best if the crowd is doing it as just as much as we are.
Exactly.
So we're sort of like the spirit instructors up there. Mm-hmm. And we hope everyone follows along.
And they do. That they do. They love you. Yeah. Your fans love you. It's great. Now, you are known to do a fair amount of cover tunes, which everybody loves cover tunes, all the standards. What would you say has been your favorite cover song to perform live?
I love the Motown stuff. Like I Want You Back by Jackson 5. Mm-hmm. Love that song. We do a cover of Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer.
Yes.
Fun. Run to You, Bryan Adams. That's another one that sort of sticks out. We used to rock the Casbah a lot. That's a really fun song. When we have a girl in the house, we'll do Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I don't know. Those songs are so much fun. Those are a lot of songs we grew up listening to around the house that our parents would have on. And, it's 97% of our shows are playing our own material, and then a few times a year we'll bust up the covers and have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. Well, it's hard to believe we're already into June of 2017, and this really has been a huge year for you guys. You've been touring all over the place, performing at the Junos, playing Coachella, and we haven't even hit summer yet. I know you're going to be at the iHeart Radio MMVAs, Festival de Quebec, Oshégo. What has been the highlight of your year so far, and what are you most looking forward to in the next half of 2017?
Oh man, yeah, we've been very spoiled, I think, when it comes to the experiences we've had. Generally speaking as a band, but especially lately. We played Coachella, which is like a bucket list kind of show for us, festival, and just as sort of beautiful and serene as, the picture show. Mm-hmm. We did an arena show, like, in our hometown, and that was, like, our biggest headline show we've ever had, up to date, and the sort of outpouring of support from our neighbors is really, special and something we don't take for granted. The Junos were incredible. We got to play, but even some smaller shows like can be equally gratifying. We got to play a great side stage at Shaking Youth Festival in Atlanta, and the crowd was amazing. So mm-hmm. It's like I think you try to evaluate each experience and each show for what it is, and really try to make the most of it. And so whether we're playing on a big festival set or we're playing in a little club, we try to make each thing special.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great, great. Well, we actually have one of our photographers, Nicole Wolf, who will be at Festival de Quebec, and they have a pretty impressive lineup this year. Is there anyone there that you are particularly looking forward to seeing?
I want to see Kendrick Lamar. That's who I'm looking forward to.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Great, great. Well, I know we need to wrap up, but before we go, last question. Considering we're coming up on Canada's 150th birthday, which is an exciting event, what is your favorite thing about living in Canada?
I really appreciate sort of the calm, generally level-headed disposition of Canadians. We're not, particularly a hysterical bunch. I think we're good at, being grateful for things that we have in our life. Mm-hmm. I think when you contrast those like that attitude with things that are going on south of the border. Like you really appreciate it. You're like, I'm really glad we live in a place where there's like generally respect for everybody who's at the party.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Okay.
That's the best version of Canada, and that's what I like about it.
Awesome, awesome. And you guys do such a great job promoting Canada, promoting your hometown of Hamilton. Yeah, and we wish you all the best and a great rest of 2017. Thank you so much thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today, Max. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We've been speaking with Max Kerman from the Arkells. Please check them out. And I'm Linda Heldman for Canadian Beats. Thanks, everybody.